As with many changes that happen in society, wartime often propels change, social change in this case. This section is entitled "Sugar Goes to War," and it really was World War I and World War II that propelled the use of sugar in American diets, but also rationing sugar was a common thing. Sugarcane was used in gunpowder, dynamite, and other ingredients actually to provide ammunition during World War I. Sugar was one of the first products that was being looked at by the United States Food Administration to ration because it was valuable for military use. And so other alternative sugars like corn syrup, molasses were being touted as an alternative. And this poster you can see from World War I indicates using cane syrup instead. This is about 1918. These are reproduction posters. We wanted to give the feel of the poster so people could see the scale and the color and not have them behind glass, because typically posters would just be tacked up. This shows how important chocolate was for U.S. forces in France. It really was the Hershey bar that became such a beloved treat during World War I because it was issued to the troops. The other thing that sugar was used for in a morale way were donuts that were made famous by the Salvation Army. These gals were called lassies, and they actually fried these donuts in the trenches of World War I. And you see photos of the doughboys, and they were called doughboys because they loved fried dough and sugar so much. They would line up at the Salvation Army huts for these famous donuts. So sugar was important in a morale way for the troops, in addition to being used for gunpowder, chemicals, and other things. It also gave the horrific conditions of the trenches a little bit of a bright light for these guys. Other posters over here show how important sugar was for other countries, as that was restricted to England, France, and Italy. These were our allies during that war. And here the Food Administration is invoking God to say that we are giving this amazing bounty of wheat, meat, fats, and sugars, and we need to save them to send them over to our allies. This was even before America was involved in fighting over there. This fantastic poster, the original is owned by the museum here, and it shows that beverages like a soda fountain beverage, and this is clearly some sort of ice cream soda. They were imported in ships, and these ships were needed to carry soldiers and supplies now. So don't go to the soda fountain and drink ice cream sodas anymore, because we need those ships. And so it's sort of, this is a really interesting play on American pre-World War I decadence, and the idea that war over there, and this is France, was looming, and we were needing these, all the assets that we had. So reduce your consumption of sugar-sweetened drinks. World War II, again, sugar was vital to the war efforts. As I mentioned earlier, the attack on Pearl Harbor cut off the supply of sugar from the Philippines and Hawaii as they were in the war zone. In 1942, sugar became the first food officially rationed by the United States government, and food stamps were needed, food ration stamps rather, were needed to purchase the staple. Other substitutes were found like corn, wheat, and rice syrups, and these complemented the victory gardens where you were encouraged to plant sugar beets. And we haven't spoken about sugar beets really because this exhibition is about sugar cane and the use of sugar cane, but sugar beets can be grown in some other climates at higher latitudes. So sugar beets were being encouraged to substitute for industrially processed sugar cane. In this World War II poster showing Marines storming a beach somewhere in the South Pacific. And I just I love the modern design of this poster here. It's much simpler, clearer sharing of sugar.